and tonight we're joined by Dave on my right, Bataro's on my left. Evening, guys. How are you?
Oh, very well, thank you.
Especially great after Friday, mate.
Yeah, Friday was fun. Friday was fun.
It upsets us again, but yeah, let's go again.
It's always a little bit of hope that gets injected back into everyone, right? Mm-hmm. Especially after the result on Saturday. It was on Friday. Sorry, you weren't with us, Bataro, on Friday. You were out for the weekend, so
I was, mate. Yeah,
didn't get to celebrate with you.
Unfortunately, no. But what I about you lot, mate, is all you were doing at gloom before the game. You needed my positivity, didn't you, to influence you. Unfortunately, I was in the old fucking skanks land of between Manchester and Scouse land, but you know.
The doom and gloom come from a really poor midweek performance, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the game that you expect to win.
Two performances.
Really, that's right, yeah. And so you never knew that we could do as well as we did against Huddersfield. So yeah, it's a bonus.
Away from home, we'll take that, won't we? Really. I mean, like I said to you, Dave, swap out the performances of the Barnsley game, the Huddersfield game. We'll take
True.
That. We'll take that, won't we?
True.
Same usually.
Yeah, it's just more disappointing, I think, now when you look at that Friday result that we couldn't just hold on against Barnsley because we'd be out there.
Yeah, and that is the biggest disappointment. And now we've got to go through it all again on Tuesday.
But on the other note, though, you imagine we got out of it and we lost the next 3 games. This might be an incentive now to kick up the arse that we need. You never know, do you? So let's hope. Just keep believing.
Well, let's look at some 3-word reviews of the Huddersfield victory. Matt did say, never stop believing. Jaden says, Bree masterclass. Lee says, 3 cup finals. Nick says, NJ tactical masterclass. Barney says, not over yet. Chris said, we actually fought. Kieran said, pump it up. Cam said, Barnsley result hurts. And Luke says, Luton Town away. Love it.
Yeah, you was meant to sing that like the Huddersfield fans, wasn't you, that one?
Oh, no, I don't fancy singing. It was a really boring game to watch, wasn't it? But it's like Chris said, we did actually show some fight on Friday. We looked pretty defensively solid, I thought, as well.
Well, I suppose you look at the first half, especially. I mean, there's no chance really for either team. Second half comes into the equation. You step it up a little bit. It's great.
Would you say boring? Really boring? I think the first half it was a bit
really
boring. Yeah, the first half.
Dave, I stopped watching after a while.
Yeah, but I think everybody was a bit too. It was a win-win for both teams that they had to win, both of them, really. Huddersfield needed to win as much as we did.
Not as much as we did.
Well, okay, if they'd have had they beaten us, their predicament wouldn't be as bad as it is now.
No.
Right, so they needed to win, we needed to win, and I think we were both frightened in the beginning to get it. I think we were the better team.
Overall, yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
But you're right, the first half wasn't that entertaining, it was a bit...
I mean, second half, I think I recall us having, we scored the goal in the second half, wasn't it? That's what I mean, I was on my face, man, I can't remember. But, yeah, all I remember is, obviously, I think that was our first shot on target, wasn't it? We scored again, Bradley.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, after that, I think we had like another 3 or 4 chances. But the thing is, it's about time we started. I mean, don't get me wrong, against Preston, you draw 1-0, we score from the first shot on target. I mean, but it's about time we have 5-6 shots on goal. You think, come, we can score from this. We can get a goal here.
I don't think in the first half. I don't think either team looked like they were going to get a goal. Either team. I think we were really quite solid at the back against Huddersfield. I thought we played very well there, but it wasn't inspiring, was it?
No, I'll be honest. I think Huddersfield were really poor as well. I think
they weren't great.
I've watched them. They're terrible.
Poor or not, their supporters and they probably expected to turn us over.
Yeah, and guess what? We've done the double over them. You know what I mean? What's that? You're going to Luton Town away? Yeah, we've done the fucking double, mate.
Producer Jacobs put on our running order today. Probably the worst half of football we've seen. I wouldn't. Entertainment-wise, if you're not a Luton fan or a Huddersfield fan watching that, you probably would have fallen asleep.
We went to Brentford away. Remember that? That was pretty shit.
Yeah, but at least you got 5 goals in that first half.
Mate. We don't want to see that shite. You know what I mean? Get it out.
But it weren't the most entertaining. But as a Luton fan, I was quite content.
Do you know what though? In these situations, it doesn't need to be entertaining. We just need to grind out the results. So if we ground out a 1-0 off the back of that, and it was the poorest game we've watched, we'd all be really happy about that. Well, because now it's so important now to have the points. So important.
And producer Jacobs also put down he said there's so many misplaced passes in that game. And we will touch on Pelly, only because he's put a stat in here about Pelly. He had a 58% pass success rate.
I'm not getting involved in this one.
No, you are. We are getting you involved in this one. We did say, I think Pelly was in our man of the match poll the other day, and he did get a fair few amount of votes.
I thought he did well. I said to you earlier. I mean, I know you like to say, Luke, what is it? Oh, every time Pelly misplaces the ball, I get fucking old flutters and that.
I get worried because you're going to moan at him.
But no, what it is, it's like, you know.
He had a couple of misplaced passes, but that's about all.
He does it. This is Pelly. This is the thing. I mean, you don't know, man. So 1 minute he's world class. The minute, well, actually, maybe that's a bit too far, but. And the next minute he's poor. But no, look. Overall, I was really impressed with Pelly. I thought he done all right. He done a good job.
But
he was playing front and back four, wasn't he? So.
Yeah, but you could pick on any player any time and say, oh, he's missed that pass, And I think I got really frustrated on Friday night with just one of the passes where he got the ball and he did so well to get the ball and keep it, and then he had an easy pass and he didn't make it, and that's what frustrated me.
And this is what I go on about sometimes. Yeah. He does all the hard work and he can't do the simple stuff, the basic. This is why.
But it was only once.
My argument is that it's not just him that does it, but in my opinion, it's him that seems to get the stick when it happens.
What, by me, you mean?
By you, yeah.
That's what you're aiming at, yeah.
By Dave here. Like the other day,
he's that bad, is he?
No. When Pelly did them step overs and he dribbled past that person and gave the ball away,
class.
You were fuming. And I was here, but what about Lee, who's just dribbled straight into an opponent? What about Shinny, who's just put that ball out for a goal
to be
kick?
fair to me,
for me, I feel like Pelly gets a lot of hate for misplacing a pass.
I don't know about hate, mate. He's loved. He's loved in around the club, mate. He's loved.
That's not fair.
He is loved.
I think,
loved.
Yeah, to be fair to me, I was frustrated that we'd kept the ball and he didn't make the pass. Just the once in that game, to be fair. And it's just frustrating because you can see how hard he worked to get it. And then to waste it like that, where a simpler pass would have kept the ball. Now, you could argue that some of the players could have made a different position to make it even easier for him, but that one episode really annoyed me.
I think sometimes you look at his passing and his positioning and you think, yeah, maybe he should make that pass. But if he doesn't, I don't look at it and get frustrated because I know it happens to everyone, and that's the reality of the situation.
I know we had an argument the other day, or a conversation, or a debate, whatever you want to call it, mate. It's pretty fucking all three mixed in one. But what I will say to you is like this is what I believe, right? Certain positions on the pitch have certain jobs, and for me, Pelly's job is to win that ball and get the ball moving, and sometimes doesn't do it quick enough. And I'll stick by that. I'm sticking by that. Though.
But that might be your job for Pelly. But is that Nathan's Jones' job for Pelly?
I get that.
Maybe Nathan's job is get it and pass it to the opposition. How do you know it's not?
I don't get that though.
No, but seriously, that's the thing. Like that's how you'd like Pelly to play, and I know you always say you like to see him driving up and down that pitch.
Yeah, that's what I love, mate. Yeah.
Maybe he's told differently. Maybe Jones does rate him in front of the back four.
Maybe he's too big because he looks massive now, mate. He's like fucking. He'll be like Aki Femmer in 10 years' time. He's huge. The size of the fucker.
You're saying he's lost a bit of pace the other day, weren't you?
Yeah, I do think he's lost a lot of pace, mate. I think he's bulked up massively. And it scares me a little bit because if he hears this, he's going to come knock me the fuck out, isn't he?
I just say with Pelly, I do think his passing could be better, but I'm happy with him. I'll be happy to play these last 3 games because I know the other day on Twitter I did.
So
do you know when you give an individual stat like that out on one player, like 58% pass success rate, it would be quite a thing to compare the rest of the team's passes.
I was about to say, if our producer wants to do this in the future, it would be helpful having more of the stats.
Yeah, cheers, joking, mate. All I'm going to say is I reckon Bradley's up there in the top 2 passes.
But you know, he might be 58% might be the best pass rate in the team. We don't know.
We don't know.
No, Dave, that's definitely not right.
No, but you don't know that. You don't know that.
Either way,
I do know that.
Let's focus on the second half. It was a positive start to the second half for us. We got a goal quite early on, didn't we? Good corner routine, back post.
Well, firstly, you've got to say that it was a brilliant bullet header, lovely. But if he hadn't scored that and we didn't get a penalty, I would have been fuming.
I was going to say, he was definitely getting held, wasn't he?
Not just him. Colo was held.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Bradley was held.
He wouldn't have got a penalty for it.
Well, do you know what? I would have been fuming if we hadn't got a penalty if he hadn't scored. But anyway, he scored, and it was a brilliant goal, and the movement was great for it, and the header was really powerful.
He held his men off, didn't he?
Yeah, he was strong.
Side, didn't he?
Very
for me,
strong.
It looked like he was getting pulled, but like I said, I can't really say much because I don't have my face. But
I can't quite remember how he got the corner, but it was quite refreshing again to see a score from a corner. It was another Bree delivery. He had that one against Derby, which Daniels headed in. I think Bree also took that corner Pell scored from against Charlton or Derby as well. I can't remember, but he's Bree. I was impressed with, and that delivery from that corner. Perfect assist for him.
Solid as well. He was solid, mate. I think that's brilliant. Because how many times have we said, like, I don't know, people focus on obviously Bree earlier in the season quite often, and it was like, oh, Bree's done this, Bree. I can see why Villa don't really want to keep him in the team. And I think we all saw it, but I really want Bree to do well. And the thing is, I can really see us signing him next season if we do go down. I'll be honest. But look, it depends on wages, doesn't it? And I can't see Villa keeping him. But
I think there's a chance we could get him next season.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, some of them.
Do you know what I like reading today?
But give him a chance, maybe.
The comments I liked to read today was Luton News did a bit of an article on James Bree and what Jones said about him. Mm-hmm. He said reminds him of Jack Stacey. He said he had a massive firm chat with him about, maybe believing himself a bit more and get him to focus on the good things he brings to the game. You should think like that positivity. I know we said this before from the Mizzy Brown comments, but it's like that's the kind of things you want to hear.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I'm making this up, but I swear I just recall Graham Jones when he was talking about Stacey leaving and going, we can't replace Stacey and all this. Instead of going, here's Bree, this is what he's good at.
Or did you make that up?
I don't know. I may have made. I literally may have made that up.
I don't know who said that.
But I swear I remember reading something along the lines of Graham Jones saying the amount of times he said that we lost Stacey and Justin, and it's hard to find two Premier League fullbacks in the place.
Like, this is the thing for me, right? Obviously going back to the whole Graham Jones saga or whatever, right? Obviously saying about certain players, Izzy Brown, even it was true about Stacey and that, saying you can't replace Stacey. Maybe that, in certain hindsight, that might encourage a player sit there and go, do you know what, Graham Jones, or whatever you want to call him, you're a fucking idiot. I'm not saying, it's not for me, by the way. I might go, you're an idiot because I can prove you wrong. Maybe that's what he was trying to bring out of people. This is where people get him wrong, maybe. This is what... I'm not going to keep going defending him, but maybe it's a different side of it, do you know what I'm saying?
He's not our manager anymore, but
what I'm saying is...
I would say any walk of life, if you boost someone's confidence by telling them how good they are at some things, then they will perform for you. Yeah. Absolutely. But if you tell someone they're crap, do you know what? Sometimes they don't give a crap.
Yeah, but is it a question of saying, oh, you're crap, or is it a thing of saying, actually, do you know what? Well, we can't replace Jack Stacey because look at the qualities he possesses, and we all knew what the quality he had. But maybe saying sometimes, we haven't replaced it, blah blah blah.
What confidence does that? What confidence I give anyone?
Maybe it's not been a thing for certain people. They turn around and go, actually, I'm going to prove this guy wrong. I'm going to prove this knobhead wrong. They might even turn around and say that. And they might do it. And it might spur them to give an extra 5-10%. I always believe in it. I know I do.
No, I don't.
You know? I do. I think you can sit there and go to someone, well, I don't know, do you know what I mean? You need to prove to me.
Do you know the first thing, if I was being told that I wasn't good enough or wasn't good as the last player and you've taken me in your team and then I was getting parts of games and not games and I was not getting talked up by my manager at some point, the first opportunity I get, I would be off. That's how I would look at it.
You wouldn't be kicked on and driven on by that, no?
No.
If someone's saying,
it's like saying, if you were on a dating app and a girl messaged you saying,
don't listen to those,
you're quite good looking, but you're not as good looking as Dave.
Right.
Well, this is true. This is true.
Yeah. But you'd probably sit there and be like, okay, okay, it's like a compliment, but not really.
Yeah.
And then imagine then a girl says to you, oh, you're just really attractive. I really think you're attractive. Nothing else. And then you're like, oh, I'm a bit happier. That's just like saying, look, Bree, you're good. You are good. You don't have to be compared to previous players.
You never get swayed by one side of anything, though. That's the thing. Because I'll tell you what, I tell that first bird that you said about, you're not that great, you're not as good as Dave. And I'll tell you, do you know what I tell that woman? I go, do you know what? You're fucking ugly and I don't give a shit. I'm gorgeous and I know it. I mean, look at my hair, come on.
Oh dear.
Let's move on from that anyway. We had a chance to make it 2. Colo's chance when he cut inside. I thought it was in.
I was
up cheering. I was gutted when it didn't.
He was unlucky there. It wasn't that far off. He made the chance, he made the space well, and he really struck it well.
Tight to his feet as well.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, it's good to see Colo actually run at people as well.
And at that point, I thought we was on top of them. And I didn't think we weren't going to push on and get another one.
I mean, we won up at that point. Sorry, as well. So I remember saying.
So you didn't think we were going to push on and get another one?
Well, no, I did. I thought we could.
No, because I think when we missed that, I was like, well, that's it. That was our last chance of the game.
Yeah, but then when you're watching the game, when you're watching the game live, and you get very involved in, there was points at which we didn't think Huddersfield were going to score. We thought we needed a second goal, but we didn't think they were going to score, and they didn't provide.
I did.
Well, maybe you did, but
I did. I sat there thinking they're so going to score. Even at 2-0, I was like, they're going to score and get a game one back.
Between me and you, like, I was so numb by that point. I was like, yeah, we 1-0 up. Only half an hour ago, that'll go quick. You know what I mean? Get all that. I was like, yes, it's great. No, to be honest, I don't know what I felt because I didn't feel nothing much really for it.
Well, Lee scored to make it 2-0.
Yeah, cracking
and
finish.
I was so happy for Elliot Lee. It's his first championship goal for us. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's his first goal of the season, isn't it?
Wow. That's something else, isn't it?
And Colo got through 1-on-1, hit the post. He was unlucky with that shot, actually. I know you said he should have gone across the keeper, but
hindsight, I mean, it happened for the best, didn't it? Really.
with that movement, I, you know, at the very beginning, you couldn't tell whether Collins was offside or onside. Or clearly, he was onside because that's what it was given as. But my first thought, well, the flag's going to go up.
no, because the flag would have gone instantly.
Well, I thought it was going to go up.
See, the amount of people I've seen going, well, how wasn't Collins offside? It's like not one Huddersfield player part of their arm.
No.
Not one Huddersfield player.
Oh,
and Berry plays that ball so deep in our half that Collins is clearly onside. That's all I'm saying. He's clearly onside.
I just found it crazy how we was using Collins as the last man. I thought, shit, he's getting caught here. He's getting caught up by Richard. Was it Richard Stearman, wasn't it? And I thought, shit, if he's getting caught by this bloke, he's fucked. He can't fucking run. I love Colo, but he's a bit slow. But he's done fucking brilliant in the end. He did.
The best bit about that goal is the speed at which Lee reacted to it hitting the post.
Yeah, that first touch for me was the best thing.
Just getting in front of their defender. If you watch it back, that defender genuinely didn't expect Lee to get there before him, and then the first touch and whack in. It was such a brilliant goal. Such a brilliant goal.
That's what I said though. I mean, for me, I think I remember seeing that goal and I just remember like thinking, shit, who's that going to? Next minute you see Elliot Lee just like barge in front of the bloke.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Touch, and as soon as he took that touch, I thought he's got a chance here. And the thing. Like I said, that first touch for me was the best thing about that goal. It really was. That first touch, the little composed, sort of like elegant little step, over the player and whatever, and take the touch. I thought that's brilliant.
But his sprint, like I said this on the day, his sprint to the ball. I mean, he was twice as quick as a defender, easily.
Wanted it more in a way, didn't he?
By any chance?
Yeah, he wanted it more, totally more. What did you say?
Was it Richard Stearman by any chance? He's so slow. I could beat him with a fucking this barrel, mate, you know what I mean?
But then the strike was superb, and the sound of the ball hitting that net even
it's
better.
nice, isn't it? It's a nice sound.
And
it
wonderful.
It kind of capped off a good away performance, didn't it? It's the first time we've won 2-0 away from home this season.
Great.
So
wow,
it was a massive win. It was a real big win for us. You know, we needed it.
And I was just happy with the solidness at the end. Like we didn't really give them a sniff. Sluga had a catch a couple of balls, but that's it.
And then Kaz came one day, his business, mate.
So good seeing Luala back. If we have Ray fit for the QPR game, and then we've got the opportunity to bring like Luala off the bench again, and if Cornick can hopefully be fit from going off the other day as well, I don't want to get excited, but it's looking kind of promising, isn't it?
It's typical Luton Town though. They raise your hopes one time, and then they dash them again, and they raise them again. And this is why you love supporting this club. How boring would it be to be a mid-table team every season?
That's what I was saying to you earlier, wasn't it?
How boring would it be? I'd rather be pushing. I'd rather be pushing up towards the playoffs than avoiding relegation. But if we avoid relegation this season,
that's his predicament that we're in at the moment, isn't it, really?
If we avoid relegation this season, it's going to be a roller coaster. But we'd have worked hard to get out of it.
I wanted to take a look at Sonny Bradley then after that goal he scored at the weekend. 3 goals in front of the Sky cameras Sonny's got.
Is it only 3 goals he's got this season as well?
Yeah, which is pretty good considering he scored 0 in the last 59, I think
so
Jacob said.
It's a bit odd that he scores in front of the cameras. You think he's a bit of a showboat with his tattoos and that? Christ.
So, Sonny Bradley, what do you reckon... what do you reckon? How do you think he's done this season in the Championship? It's his first season, really, isn't it, in the Championship, isn't it, as a player?
Should I get my Sonny Bradley rose tint glasses
Do
up?
It.
Go for it.
Keep them on.
Tell us, how do you reckon he's been?
Don't get it wrong. I can see why people say there's weaknesses in his game, but I always go from a team perspective as well. I always think that you can't always single out one individual all the time. I mean, you can understand like certain giving a ball away stupidly, or do you know what I mean, not winning your header. So you expect like a man of his presence to win his header. He's 6'5" for Christ's sakes, but he's been exposed a few times. Like I said, I see a comment on here earlier about counter attack. When we get counter attacked, he is slow. Like, look, there's no hiding away from the fact that he's quite slow. We all know this, But at the same time, you can't expect one player just to dart back all the time and try and win the ball. And I know what you said earlier, Luke. You said about, what was it? But sometimes if he's the last man, you rely on him. But I also believe that certain players in there do certain jobs, and if the shape sort of gets broken, and he's the last man, which I don't think Sonny Bradley, in a manager's thoughts, would be the last man back defending.
No, I think he performs better when the rest of the defence around him is performing better, and you've only got to look at the weekend for that. So I sort of agree, and it's disappointing that he can't be that 100% player every time we see him, but who can?
But the thing is, I think if you give Sonny Bradley another 10 yards of pace over fucking 20 metres or whatever, I think you're looking at a much higher level player, realistically.
Apart from that time against Charlton at home when he made a mistake and had to run back after that Lecco, and
that's
was just left.
He left for dead, didn't he? Yeah, of course. But look, I mean, overall, I mean, I like Sonny Bradley. Everyone, I think it's quite obvious this is, but for me, Sonny Bradley, he brings you composure. He can pass the ball. For me, his passing is. I know people might say that. Yeah, mate, it's phenomenal. I think his passing. He's calm on the ball. He can bring it down. He can spray the ball. Well, how many times have you seen him? Right, maybe not recently, but beginning of the season, first 6 months or whatever, you see him getting the ball into feet, and he passed the ball into Collins' feet. Kinds of hold up.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen
quite
that?
a few, to be fair.
And the thing is, people will sit there and go, "Oh no, he doesn't." If you watch him back
and
on
compare him
the
to
replay,
Pearson kicking out for throw-ins every.
Well, yeah,
every
I wasn't going to say anything like that. It's a bit harsh for Pearson, but now you said it. But yeah, I mean, you compare his pass to a lot of players in the team. I think he's up there with some of the best passers in the team. I'll be honest. I'll say it, hands up. People don't agree with that. Fair enough, but for me, I believe in that.
Well, let's look at some of the comments that you guys get on touch with us on Twitter. Owen the Town. Mohammed said, as a leader, he's great, but as with all our defenders this season, he's found it challenging at championship level. He's improved in fairness, and I believe Nathan Jones' coaching may have a part in the renewed confidence they're all now showing, Reading aside. Yeah, because Reading was atrocious.
Yeah.
And Tony says, I think he's been poor this season, looked unfit for the majority of it. The goal on Friday boosted his confidence as he was good after that. What do you make of that?
I think we've already said that there are some games where he hasn't performed up to the full standard, but then again, if you're only as good as the people playing around you as well sometimes, and I think he's been let down with that. His confidence on Friday, I thought he was brilliant on Friday.
Yeah, I thought
he was really brilliant on Friday. I don't think there was much that got past him, and the goal added to it.
I feel like when the ball got put into the striker's feet, he got tight to him as well. He pressed him as well. That's what I like about Bradley, but I don't feel like he does that sometimes because he's not confident in the people around. Honestly, that's what I believe. But look, I don't know.
I know he says I think he's been poor this season.
I don't think he's been poor.
I think if you can, I would rather him over Matty Pearson any day of the week, and I think he's been better than Pearson this season. Yeah. And for the style of play that we play under both Jones, that he suited that better than Pearson.
I'd say out of all our permanent fixtures in the team, I'd say he's been our best defender, other than obviously Carl Vickers when he stepped in, because he just looks a class above everyone, really.
Yeah.
But I'd say for me, he's been our best defender. That's what I believe. I think people take it for granted sometimes. Sorry, that look at Bradley with the ball and whatever else, or off the ball, and people look at him and go, oh, he's slow, he's not this, he's that. But I just think when you're in a struggling team, sometimes you don't really shine as much, and I think he's shone more than you have a few people around him, or the other 5 people that have in and out of the team. I really do believe that.
Well, here are some more comments, which I think you might find interesting. Richard said, he's had a poor season on the whole. Think he found the step up hard. He's not looked fit. Having Carter Vickers next to him is a blessing and a curse with him being so calm and positionally brilliant. That said, Sonny looked like himself after that goal. So,
and what was that said about Sonny about being positioned? Was that Sonny being positionally brilliant or Carter Vickers?
I think he means Carter Vickers.
I think he means Carter Vickers, yeah. But no, we've already said that, haven't we? Whoever's playing alongside you helps you play better.
Sometimes you need it's like when you play it's obviously a bit different, but you play 2 strikers up front. If you play 2 big men up top, 2 6'5" strikers, it probably don't work, does it?
No.
If you play a 6'5" hold up player and you play someone quick, powerful off of them, like the Heskey Owen thing. I know it's a bit different going centre backs to strikers, but I think it's the same with centre half sometimes. You need your guy there, your calm influence. You need your bulldozer. For me at the moment, Bradley's still your calm influence. He can pass the ball, he can get the ball down.
Okay.
Takes his time, keeps the ball. And obviously Carter Vickers, for me at the moment, don't get me wrong, he's still calm. He's a fucking machine, isn't he? We know he's a machine. And he's made Bradley look better because he's a different class. He's a class above for me. I'll be honest, really, honestly. like I said, you put Bradley in a team, maybe in the top 10 or whatever, he looks 10 times the player for me. I've always said it. I think I recall to the beginning of the season when people start slating about him, but look, I'm a Bradley fan. I've got my glasses still on, so you know how it goes.
I'd maybe question him in the top 10 team, but
no. But what I'm saying is, you put him in top 10 defenders and around him, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Put him next to like a Pontus Jansson or something.
Much better players around him. Then he performs better. It's like anyone. It's like you put Collins in, a better team. He probably scores more goals, realistically.
Yeah.
Well,
potentially
more service. It's the same thing.
LTF's meme said, he's been found out this season, unfortunately. Him and Pearson were a brick wall against less creative attackers. Just look what Wells did to him at QPR away. But
well, thanks for that one.
Yeah.
That day was just a right
mate,
together,
back four on that day, didn't it?
It was a poor day, wasn't it? It was a poor day. But do you know what? Even then, we could have got something out of that game. But there you go.
Yeah.
Either way, Pearson's been out of the squad for a while then, so do you reckon it's Bradley and Carter Vickers for these remaining three?
It has to be for me, yeah. Has to be.
And then Brian Potts, I'm quite happy with that back four going into his last three.
I know some people probably sit there and go Craney and Carter Vickers, but for me, Bradley.
Craney was getting a bit sick the other day.
Yeah?
After that Barnsley game. I saw a few tweets saying...
Did he start? He did, didn't he?
Yeah, in CDM. People are like, what's Craney actually done today?
I think because we're so passionate, you can pick on a player that's had a bad game, but the whole team performed poorly during the midweek games.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got 3 cup finals left to play.
Before we move on to some Instagram questions, let's just quickly touch on that Barnsley game, because I know a lot of people probably wanted to hear our opinion on Harry Cornick's miss when he gets through 1-on-1 in the 90th minute, and he.
Don't.
And we've had people tweet us saying, like, you guys have mentioned this on the podcast all year about Cornick's finishing. And I think it's getting to that stage with Harry Cornick now where I think, as a Luton fan base, I think we maybe need to, tone down the stick at Harry Cornick.
I'll tell you what,
he's a young lad, and I don't want to
I'll
ruin
tell
his
you, I love
confidence.
Harry Cornick. You know how much I think he's one of our better players. I'll really be honest. I think he is. I think he's something else, mate. He gives us something a lot different we've got up top.
But sometimes it's like a deer in the headlights when he sees a goal and he's 1-on-1. A little chip on that Barnsley game, and we win it.
It's because he's so quick. And
but he might be so quick, but when he gets there, he just needs a little bit more. But then Leeds. Look at that, so you go from sublime to ridiculous.
We've spoken about everything with Cornick's finishing, haven't we? Like composure and mental side of it. And
the problem with that miss is not the fact he missed it, it's the time. It was such a golden opportunity at the very end of the match. If that had been halfway through the match, we'd have gone, oh, well, he missed it.
And
but it was such a...
Yeah,
I think so. Because we'd have probably had more opportunities to score. We probably would have had more opportunities to score. But the fact is, it was practically the last kick of the game. He scores that goal, we win the game.
Yeah, but you can say that about all of that Swansea chance he missed in that Swansea game away when he cut in on his left. We were talking about that happened in the 25th minute.
Look, the thing is,
what was the result with Swansea?
People pick on him or whatever, or people will say about his misses because they can think of 3 key misses this season that wins us the game. But look, whatever I will say to people who want to sit here and go about Cornick's is missing that right, like it gets, it's boring now, Cornick, this and that, whatever, I was sick of it. But what I will say is, Sluga. That's another thing. You're talking defence to attack. You can go pinpoint Sluga. It's the same thing. Cornick's missing, he does a job up front. Sluga's supposed to save the ball. You can pick up any midfield players who don't do their job. I mean, people don't technically. We're always going to dig at some person. This is what I'm going to get at. You're always going to dig at some person.
True.
But for me, Cornick has done more good this season than wrong.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He really has. And do you know what? He's been our most improved player this season. I really believe
that.
I'm sticking by that as well because I love him. I love the boy.
But the frustration is, you had every Luton supporter on that night. If we'd have been in that stadium, we'd have been going mental.
Yeah, we're all sitting there, for fuck's sake, it's happening again.
But all you need him to do in that situation is compose a little bit more and just chip it. That one, just to chip out a little dink, it's over the keeper.
It sounds a lot easier, doesn't it?
Of course it does, because I don't play professional football.
I think you need to get into...
I nuts you, Dave, when we was like 15. What do you call me? See you next Tuesday, wouldn't you? Yeah, remember that? Football training, yeah.
I think Harry Cornick needs to just get into that mindset of every time he gets through 1-on-1, he's just going to do the same thing every time. As long as he's not kicking at the legs of the keeper, he needs to go, every time I get through, I need to try and take it around him.
Maybe he needs to slow down a bit and look up.
Yeah.
He's so focused on getting that ball and driving
and
forward.
The disappointing thing there is because we conceded, it's such a crap time of the game as well. You had Nathan Jones moaning it wasn't a corner, but from which they scored. But it was poor goal. It was a poor goal to concede.
Sure,
Yeah.
I think if he can just sort out that side of his game, he will be a top player. He will be a top player.
And I've seen a few comments recently going around, oh yeah, it's a bit boring now. You know, people saying, oh, if he could sort it. But it is kind of true. It is true if he could. But like I said, for me, he's my most improved player of the season.
And just another thing, we talked about how the team perform. You know, a player can perform differently when the people around him are performing differently. If we were not battling relegation and we were doing free-flowing football, he'd probably scored more goals.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know, there is that little bit of extra pressure.
Also, another thing I'd love to know is as well, how many chances has Cornick had this season not finished? I reckon it's probably only about 4 or 5, and there'd been 4 or 5 that everyone will remember because it's so much time.
It's just the main ones.
Literally, that's all it is. Because I guarantee that other than the things that people can remember, there's probably been no other chance really he's missed, unless they just come to his snapshot or gone wide or whatever. It happens to everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could just be that.
It's the wrong end of the season.
Because we remember it because it's such a bad miss
but it's
at the time.
But it's also totally the wrong end of the season to have those golden opportunities to miss. Ones that could possibly... That's it. And that's probably why they're getting taken.
Well, let's hope he can work on it. Just work on it, please. Yeah. Let's get into some Instagram questions for the last 7 or 8 minutes of today's podcast. Let's start with David, who says, if we stay up, which out-of-contract players would you keep? Because I said to you at... after the Barnsley game, Tara, I said, I think we need a massive clear out in the summer. Like, I actually believe we need...
I was the opposite.
We're at a stage, we need a clear out, I think, at the club. And especially if we go down or...
By clear out, how many players do you think get rid? You're talking about the whole 11? Because for me, I can't see that happening.
I think it depends on what league we're in, because I think if we go down, I think Pelly goes, Colo goes, and maybe Cornick. And I think if we stay up, I'm looking at the likes of Craney, thinking like, is it just time to get rid? Butterfield, get rid.
Oh, no.
McManaman, despite him having a good impact.
I'm sorry, we have to keep McManaman. If he can do a job, mate, we need to keep him. I'm sorry. For me, really, if he's fit enough to play more games, then we need to keep him. If he's not fit enough, maybe he's a mercenary and just fuck him out. But for me, McManaman, I think he's class.
Just remember though, we haven't got a budget, have we? We haven't got a huge budget, so you've got to go with what we can afford.
But what I would say to him, clearing the whole squad out, I don't think we need a massive overhaul. I just think maybe, a couple of players. I think we need a new centre half. I think we need at least one fullback, decent fullback.
We need a striker.
Yeah, we
do. We do need a striker. We need one that.
And we need a proper solid midfielder for me as well. I think we need an all-round midfielder. I know obviously we bought Tunnicliffe in, but maybe if we go down, he might, he might settle in a bit more. But he does more than I think that sometimes we see. But I think for me, we need an all-round, defensive midfielder.
If they're not already working on transfer market, because it's gonna, it's different, isn't it? Because we still haven't finished the season. If they're not already looking at some players, I'll be very surprised.
I would like us just to see if we can start getting some younger players in. Just let's start looking at younger players.
I was going to see Kyoso on the bench, wasn't it, the other day?
Yeah.
Was it the other day or the day before, game 4, whatever it was? But yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Kyoso maybe get a bit of game time at some point and see what he's about. Obviously, I've seen him play a few times, but I'd like to see him play at a high level. But no, I mean, there's a few players there. I mean, like I said the other week about Berry, I want to keep Berry. Like, I think he put up something the other day about Berry, do you give him a new contract or whatever? Yeah. For me, you have to give Berry a new contract.
What if we're in a championship?
I think so, yeah. I think even if you're in the championship, you can get a couple of centre midfielders. I think he's the great backup for us. But I tell you what, realistically, when have we not been impressed with Berry? I think he's done...
his passing's good, his shooting's good.
His physicality's not there, no. But
everything else...
I think if you free him up, if you can get 2 solid players around Berry, I'm not saying you can use him as a vocal point, but I think if you free him up, he can do a lot more. I really do think... I mean, look at his pass the other day. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Harry says, why would you say our away form has changed under Nathan Jones? There was a stat that went out the other day.
Because our home form's got shitter.
I would say...
In 20 games, with Graham Jones, 19 away games, Graham Jones would 1-2. And now Nathan's won 2 out of 3.
I would say, at the moment, it doesn't matter where you're playing your games. That's what I would say about that. I would say, genuinely... I always thought that the crowd played a part, but I think that's more obvious. I think more away teams are winning since this lockdown with an empty stadium because there's no extra pressure from the home fans. And I genuinely believe there is extra pressure. So I think that's part of it. I think that's really part of it.
Yeah.
And maybe you put that into the fact of Luton are playing on bigger pitches away from home as well than Kenilworth Road, that maybe that's suiting us. And like we've said before, we go to Leeds on that Tuesday night, that's a sellout because of how close to the Prem they are. And you go to Swansea away, or before Leeds obviously, but Swansea chasing the playoff place, that's probably going to be a noisy stadium. Yep. And you're thinking, it's like you said, maybe it is.
Fans?
No
Swansea?
Crowd.
Don't know. But yeah,
but at the time, we didn't expect to win there.
No.
And to be honest, would you expect it to go to a former Premier League club and win in the way that I felt we were comfortable in the end?
Comfortable, yeah.
You know, but then if you've got 10, 12, 14,000, however many they get every week, shouting at you, and calling for decisions.
Yeah, this is it. This is the thing that sways the referee as well. Yeah. I've noticed it a lot recently. I mean, it comes down to betting, doesn't it, and gambling all the time. But you notice the whole yellow card thing now, it's massively reduced, isn't it? Like, you don't get as many decisions going. You think, the crowd's there getting on side, you've got to say that Leeds, 20, 30,000 Leeds fan or whatever.
Yeah, do you know what?
Shouting at the referee. The referee, I'm telling you now,
maybe not over the influence, but influence to the point of, did I miss something? I'll look harder.
And then he might think next time, hang on a minute, mate, they keep calling him for it, we need to look for this.
We like to think that we are the extra player for the team when you're there. That's why you go, that's why you shout. And I genuinely believe that it's made it an even playing field. It doesn't matter if you're home or away.
I do still think Nathan Jones deserves a bit of credit though for the away performances, because
he set the team up well.
Even Crowd or not, I think to hold out that Leeds team to 1 goal.
Yeah, brilliant.
And to hold out a clean sheet against Huddersfield, even though they're poor, but
clever,
Swansea as well.
Clever.
Like, that doesn't excuse the fact that we went to Bristol City and shipped 3 awful goals, and the fact we went to Bournemouth and lost, I know the Prem, but lost 4-0.
But I don't look at that because it could be a different story at half time, couldn't it?
Missed the penalty. But like defensively, I feel like Jones deserves credit because we do look a bit more defensively. I feel like we got more of a game plan away from home, and more defensively solid.
Yeah, I probably agree.
And until I see like like that Millwall first game of the year, great first half, take the lead, and then the second half just a fall to pieces, no plan. Yeah. I think under Jones, looking good, mate. You're getting a tattoo of him if we stay up on you.
Yeah, what was that about? Actually, I see it the other day.
It's literally here. JMO says, if Jones kicks us up, Batara has to get Nathan Jones beating his chest tattooed on his chest.
Fuck. Shit, no.
You said
you said it.
Yeah, fair enough. If I said it, I said it. Right, hang on. All I'm going to say to you, JMO, is get that clip from me and send it right across, because I need evidence.
I'm pretty
sure it's true.
Yeah, we'll play it next time, won't we?
Oh, fuck, no.
Brilliant.
But the thing is, right, let me know, can I get it on my, someone down near my leg or whatever? I can't really see it.
No, you said chest. You said chest.
Shit.
It makes great video content.
What do you mean to get tattooed at the time?
I'll come with you and we'll get it filmed.
No,
that's all we've got time for today. Thanks so much for checking us out. If you haven't yet, go over to YouTube, subscribe, hit the like button, and watch us there.
Yeah.
Or if you're watching this and you're thinking, I'd love to take this out in my car on the way to work, you can get us on the iTunes app and Spotify. Over in the town.
And one thing I will say is, cheers, JMO. Cheers, mate. Fucking thank you very much, because I'm not going to say it, but yeah, crack on, mate.
Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.